What is going on, guys? Nexas here, and welcome back to Destiny 2. And in today's video, guys, we are going to be here chilling at the tower with Barakish himself, chilling over by Banshee, mainly because Banshee right now is going to have really dope-ass gear for you to get. Now, I completely forgot they were kind of doing this at this patch, but of course, with the new act and everything, November 19th, we have got some brand new stuff you can get from Banshee. Now, this is to do with the whole RNG weapons, like the weight gate and everything like that. A lot of people weren't able to get their god roll easily. So when the community all came together and of course brought up all the data and all the sorts of scenarios where it wasn't working, Bungie deep dove, see there was actually an issue and everything, and decided that as a reward pretty much, or kind of as a, I'd say compensation, or as a sorry because your god rolls you weren't able to get, they are now giving you some god rolls from Banshee. Now they're not all going to be 5 out of 5s, but they're going to be like the desired rolls that you probably would have never gotten through RNG because of those issues. So we'll start off with the first one, and I will say straight off the rip, you can just get these for free, so you might as well, if you're a player, go in, grab all of them and just stick them in the vault. If anything, you don't have to do much more, just grab them because these will be leaving around December 3rd, so grab them before December 3rd, throw them in the vault, you know, you're sorted. But we'll go over the weapons to showcase how good they actually are. So the first one is going to be, of course, Rose with fluted barrel, accurized round, slide shot, explosive payload, and smooth grip. This is so close to being my absolute god roll. Explosive payload is a bit different right now because it got nerfed a while back. I think it actually got buffed recently, but I understand why people might not think explosive payload is the absolute god roll. But at the time, I have a roll of this myself. It was insane. I had moving target instead of slide shot too, but this is an insanely good roll. Handling masterwork as well. Really, really dope, especially if you're not a comp player. You should put this in your basket. So yeah, once you pick it up as well, you can't actually reacquire it, so just be careful that you don't instant dismantle. You can lock them yourself. He is going to have a Multimach though, CCX, not Iron Banner, but you can still get yourself a roll. It's got a polygonal tactical mag, attrition orbs with kinetic tremors, skulking wolf, and field test. And now I will say this is more of a PvE weapon, or PvE perks set. Wouldn't exactly be one of the weapons I was saying, oh my god, I really want this, but it's actually kind of decent. I think for PvE, the attrition with kinetic tremors, it means you can kind of get those orbs kind of going, but it wouldn't exactly be my go-to reason for going here. But you know, as I said, it is free, guys. You might as well pick it up. He is going to have a compass rose as well, which is going to have snapshot, slide shot, and of course light mag with corkscrew rifling, handling masterwork as well. You probably have a couple of rolls of these from doing the solstice event. It's only just gone and everything like that, but again, I will say this isn't exactly the meta roll or anything like that. It's a nice roll that could be dope PvP, but wouldn't exactly be the absolute god tier roll for this. It's definitely like a 3 or 4 out of 5, but I can't, guys. It's so easy. You can just stick it in the basket. It's free. He is also going to have the Hothead rocket launcher as well. Now, I will say this would have been goated back in the day, but I mean, tracker module, not really so much, but the clown cartridge with, of course, impact casing and everything back in the day before we had reconstructions, envious arsenals and all that sort of jazz. This was actually a really dope sort of perk. I will say though, right now, it's not exactly the meta. I would rather go in. I've got this Rook extermination. I kind of rather go in with this one myself with reconstruction. I mean, quick draw. Okay, this is my roll. Where's my roll? There we go. That looks a lot freaking better. A reconstruction, explosive light, freaking quick draw. Oh my god. But this is the type of weapon I'd rather go in with. Reconstruction is just dope, obviously on an arc weapon. So I will say Hothead, as much as it was great, this particular roll isn't exactly amazing. The only thing I will give it though is that this is going to be adept. So I actually filled up my space. That's great. But yeah, this is going to be adept. So if you actually don't have any adept weapons, you're not a GM sort of guy, you don't really like partake in obviously trials or whatnot, this is actually a really clean way or a quick way of getting yourself an adept weapon, because obviously it means you can put adept mods on it. So yeah, it's dope in that sense. I will say its role isn't exactly god tier or anything like that, but guys, this is for free to play players as well. You can just pick this up. It's so easy just to get some decent ass rolls. I'm telling you, if you got anybody who's just starting the game as well, get them to go in here, grab these weapons, and they're already set with some near god rolls. He is of course also gonna have an Indebted Kindness as well, with of course loose change and the L vault shot. I will say loose change maybe not the absolute god tier perk here, but this is such a dope roll, guys. I mean, especially if you don't have the Warlord's Rune dungeon, you need to get this in your hands because rocket sidearms are legit, I'd say, the best special weapons in PvE right now. I know you can mix and match in different events and whatnot, but for me, they're like the legit screwdriver of every single sort of PvE event. I mean, these just work with every build. The freaking vault shot, of course, on this is insane, and the damage these can do is nutty as well. I mean, lead from gold I will put up here is great, but as I said, if you got things like, you can see the call is insane. There is a couple more in terms of rocket sidearms you can get in that slot as well. We're going to be getting another one for Iron Banner, which is going to be stasis, but guys, this Indebted Kindness, I honestly would say this is probably, I'd honestly probably put this as the #1 reason you want to be coming here. There is of course the last one that we'll look at, but this might be the #1 reason you want to go to Banshee, because this Indebted Kindness, rocket sidearms are still absolutely god tier. And with that role, you will do work PvE. Any sort of good arc build, you will do work. But last but not least is the crux and the reason why this is all happening. This is the reason the community came together to actually figure out what the hell was happening with the RNG, because realistically, no one really knew until we all realized that there was a god tier role in freaking the new dungeon, the Vespers host dungeon, and everyone was farming like the first encounter for days and not getting this role. And that is going to, of course, be the role with countermass, spike grenades, envious arsenal, and bait and switch. Now, I will say this is probably another reason you should pick it up. I wouldn't put this as number one because a lot of people, when it comes to heavy weapons, they're not exactly going to be using them as often. But if you're a PvE guy, this is probably going to be number one choice, especially this season. Stasis is insane. Grenade launchers are doing well too in terms of mods and everything, but this role, envious assassin, bait and switch, absolutely god tier. Honestly, just one of the best freaking setups you can kind of go in with. And then of course you got spike grenades on it as well for that extra little bit of impact damage too. The orange shade isn't exactly what everyone's kind of going for. It is going to be this setup here with a reload masterwork. I would have rather this or something else, maybe blast rate or something like that. But other than that, guys, this is just absolutely insane. It's so freaking dope that Bungie actually decided to kind of give us these. They didn't have to do any of this. They could have just said, oh, our bad, we messed up the RNG or whatever. But the fact that they actually gave us a ton of these really dope ass weapons, it's really sick. And I kind of wanted to go over this quickly because a lot of times people don't realize that this might be a Banshee. I mean, when was the last time you went to Banshee for any particular reason other than maybe using your engrams or whatnot? It's got to be a very low chance you've been at him for a while, but now he is going to be selling these sorts of weapons. So this is more of a PSA than anything. No gameplay really. I'm just kind of PSAing that you need to get to the tower and get these. You've got until December 3rd. They might extend it, but at the moment it's legit a cutoff day from the 19th of November to December 3rd. So get in before December 3rd. Get all these weapons. As I said, they're all free. No engrams needed. No freaking shards. No nothing. Go in, grab them, stick them in the vault, lock them as well, stick them in the vault. That's all you gotta do. As I said, doesn't matter if you don't think the weapon's gonna be any use, if you don't think it's any good, they're pretty much all 4 out of 5, if not 5 out of 5 rolls. So I would 100% be getting to the tower to Banshee as quick as I can because he is selling some juice right now. December 3rd though is the cutoff, so make sure you get there before that. But regardless, if you like the video, show us a like, and if you want to see more content, subscribe. Fantastic day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next collective in the next one.